BMW 2 Series Gran Tourer 2015 car review. Filling yet another niche in its ever-expanding range is the BMW 2 Series Gran Tourer, the firm's first 7-seater people carrier. While ultimately it lacks the outright flexibility and spaciousness of key rivals such as the Citroën Grand C4 Picasso, Ford Grand Max and Volkswagen Touran, the 2 Series Gran Tourer has many attractive facets, aside from the allure of the BMW badge on its nose. BMW claims the 2 Series Gran Tourer came into being because buyers of its traditional saloons and estates had no option but to look to other brands as their families expanded. It believes those demanding a more premium feeling, sporty driving MPV will be tempted back into the BMW fold. Performance, with family-friendly practicality as its key focus, BMW 2 Series Gran Tourer performance is not a priority for the majority of the petrol and diesel giant range, but there are versions that offer more speed for those who desire it. All engines feature the firm's efficient dynamics fuel-saving measures, including standardized stop-start. Diesels will prove popular, with its 3-cylinder 1.5-liter diesel engine. BMW claims the 216D is the most efficient car in this segment, with claims of up to 68.9 miles per gallon and CO2 emissions of 108 GkM. It's only available with a 6-speed manual transmission. Essentially the same engine found in the latest generation of Minis, the 216D's motor produces a modest 114 bhp, with peak torque of 270 Nm available from a low 1,750 revolutions per minute. This translates into a 190 miles per hour top speed and 0.62 miles per hour dash of 11.4 seconds. Choose the 4-cylinder, 2-liter diesel installed in the 218D and you can opt for an 8-speed automatic gearbox in place of the standard 6-speed manual. Producing 148 bhp and 330 Nm of torque, again from 1,750 revolutions per minute. Performance is usefully increased -127 miles per hour top speed for the manual, 128 miles per hour for the automatic, both posting identical 0.62 miles per hour times of 9.5 seconds. Running costs aren't severely punished either, BMW claiming 64.2 miles per gallon and 115 GkM of CO2 regardless of transmission choice. Initially available only with X-Drive 4-wheel drive front-wheel drive versions will be available by the end of 2015, is the 220D, solely fitted with the 8-speed automatic. Power from its 2-liter diesel motor is up to 187 bhp, with 400 Nm of torque once again on tap from 1,750 revolutions per minute. Top speed is recorded at 135 miles per hour. While the sprint from 0.62 miles per hour is considerably brisker at 7.8 seconds. Despite this, the 220D X-Drive is claimed to return 57.6 miles per gallon with CO2 emissions of 129 GkM. Smooth patrols available. From launch, the 2 Series Gran Tourer is available with a pair of petrol engines, with a third, the 216i, joining the lineup in late 2015. Using another engine shared with the Mini hatch is the 1.5-liter, 3-cylinder 218i, producing 134 bhp and 220 Nm from a remarkably low 1,250 revolutions per minute. Manual and automatic gearboxes are available, both 6-speeders. Both transmissions post 0.62 miles per hour sprint times of 9.8 seconds in the 218i, although the manual's top speed is 1 mile per hour higher at 127 miles per hour. Running costs are marginally lower for the manual version with claims of 53.3 miles per gallon, versus 52.3 miles per gallon for the automatic, with CO2 emissions of 123 GkM and 126 GkM respectively. Topping the performance stakes is the 220i, powered by a 189 bhp 2-liter unit delivering 280 Nm, again from that low 1250 revolutions per minute figure. Gearbox choices of a 6-speed manual or an 8-speed automatic push the former onto a top speed of 139 miles per hour, the automatic 1 mile per hour slower. Sprints from 0 to 2 miles per hour are virtually identical to the manual, losing 0.1 seconds to the automatic's 7.8 second time. Choose the automatic for lower running costs too, with official claims of 47.9 miles per gallon and 138 GkM, compared to the manual's 44.8 miles per gallon and 145 GkM claims. Handling. While the BMW 2 Series Gran Tourer doesn't handle with the same degree of involvement as the firm's sportier offerings, it does set a new standard for compact 7-seater MPVs. Nothing else in this segment feels as rewarding to thread through a series of challenging corners. Such is the degree of finesse dialed into the handling arrangement, that most drivers would be hard-pressed to notice most Gran Tourers are front-wheel drive. You really do have to press on with gusto into bends to feel the BMW gently push wide into a predictable, safe understeer. It's a less pronounced phenomenon in the four-wheel drive equipped 220DX drive, with power being directed to the wheels in such a way that cornering lines are even tighter. Whichever you choose, there's a well-judged weight to the steering and a satisfying degree of feedback to judge the levels of grip the front wheels are experiencing. Whether most 7-seater people carrier customers particularly want a car that they can throw confidently through a number of broad bends remains to be seen. The trade-off is that it corners relatively flatly, preventing passengers from rolling left and right in their seats. Less positive is the firm ride quality, noticeably less supple than the Gran C4 Picasso in particular. While the harshness of bumps isn't transmitted to the cabin, the ride is firm enough to mean passengers feel most of the ruts driven over. Opting for BMW's electronic dynamic damper control lessens the blows to a significant degree, but they're still more noticeable, giving the 2 Series Gran Tourer a ride quality that's more akin to a sporty hatchback than a family MPV. Equipment. From its spring 2015 launch, the BMW 2 Series Gran Tourer was available in 4 trim levels, say, Sport, Luxury and M Sport. Standard BMW 2 Series Gran Tourer equipment. Long gone are the days when the say trim level signified the highest levels of BMW special equipment, for on the 2 Series Gran Tourer it represents the intra-level grade. Not that this equates to a paucity of kit, for the say still comes with Bluetooth connectivity with audio streaming, iDrive rotary controller for a number of the car's functions including sat-nav, a 6.5-inch infotainment screen, electronic parking brake, a front armrest, automatic lights and wipers, emergency city braking, rear parking sensors and dual sonic on. Move up to the Sport and you'll also enjoy 17-inch alloy wheels, sports front seats and much of the exterior detailing picked out in a gloss black finish. Designed to appeal more to traditionalists is the Luxury specification, featuring lighter interior colors, wood trim fillets for the interior, a different design of 17-inch alloy wheels and leather upholstery. Topping the range is the M Sport, complete with the requisite exterior M badging, a sports body kit and upgraded 18-inch alloy wheels with dark exterior trim. Inside, the sports seats are timed in leather and there's a specific steering wheel too. Optional BMW 2 Series Gran Tourer accessories. New BMWs can be upgraded with a wide range of factory-fit options at additional cost, and the 2 Series Gran Tourer is no exception to this rule. Letting light flood into the cabin is the electric opening panoramic sunroof, particularly useful to prevent the rearmost seats feel less claustrophobic. Ride and handling characteristics can be altered with the dynamic damper control, a feature we'd strongly recommend, and variable sports steering, which is less compelling on a car of this type. BMW's excellent head-up display system is also available, although unlike other models where the graphics are projected onto the windscreen, on the 2 Series Gran Tourer they appear on a transparent panel on top of the instrument panel. The 2 Series Gran Tourer also comes pre-equipped with equipment which can be turned on via the connected drive system, meaning if the original owner doesn't specify the equipment, future owners can. Choices include collision and pedestrian warning in conjunction with the emergency city braking, automatic main beam, lane departure warning and a camera-based adaptive cruise control system. Comfort. With a family-friendly focus at the heart of its design, it's no surprise that BMW 2 Series comfort is one of the car's strengths. Sitting on a slightly higher plane than you would in the X1, getting in and out of the 2 Series Gran Tourer is easy, and once you get there the driver's seat has an excellent range of adjustment, as is typical of BMWs. A fully adjustable steering wheel ensures a comfortable and commanding driving position will result. While the outer positions on the middle row bench are comfortable, the passenger occupying the narrower, firmer center position may have cause for complaint, as well adults and taller teenagers relegated to row 3. The lack of head and leg room means these are best suited to preteens and petite adults. On the road, particularly over smooth asphalt, the 2 Series Gran Tourer is a refined and quiet cruiser. The serenity only disturbed by wind noise as the air rushes around the large windscreen pillars or when the engines are worked harder at higher revs. While the 2 Series Gran Tourer corners excellently and relatively flatly, the trade-off is ride comfort is compromised compared to more supple rivals such as Citroen's Grand C4 Picasso. Even with the adaptive suspension option doesn't completely negate the difference. Practicality. Ranked against the company's other cars, BMW 2 Series Gran Tourer practicality is second to none, but compared to others in this sector it's lacking a few convenient touches. Chief among these is the middle row bench seat, where many rivals offer 3 individual chairs for increased flexibility. While the 2 Series Gran Tourer seat's back is split 40 hours 20 minutes 40 seconds. The narrowness of the center position limits the BMW's effectiveness as a 7-seater. It's not all bad news though, as it slides back and forth to vary the legroom to boot space ratio in the storage areas under the seat, as well as sizable door bins, plus picnic tables on the front seat backs, too. Although the rearmost row of seats are designed primarily for children in this size of MPV, the restricted head and legroom more or less guarantees adults and taller teens won't fit in the back of the 2 Series Gran Tourer. Those who do fit will benefit from elasticated straps on the sides to hold various child-related detritus, while the seats themselves are raised and lowered easily with a small, plastic lever. BMW doesn't quote a luggage space figure for the 2 Series Gran Tourer in 7-seater mode, but it doesn't look too dissimilar to other cars in this class. For convenience, the luggage cover stows neatly away under the boot floor. In 5-seater mode, the BMW offers up to 560 litres of space, which compares well for the Ford Grand Max's 475 litres, but lags behind the Citroën Grand C4 Picasso's 793-litre capacity. It's a similar story when all the rear seats are tumbled to create a near-flat floor, with the 2 Series Gran Tourer offering 1,820 litres, beating the Ford 1,742 litres but not the colossal Citroën 2,181 litres. Safety. While it's not yet been crash-tested by the expert at EuroNCAP, we fully expect BMW 2 Series Gran Tourer safety to be ranked highly, scoring a 5-star rating. Complementing the strong safety cell is a raft of all-round airbags, emergency city braking to help reduce the impact of an accident in the first place, automatic lights and wipers, and 2 ISOFIX child seat mounting points on the middle row bench. A further welcome addition is the emergency call function, which will automatically pinpoint the car's location and contact the emergency services outlining the severity of the impact. Many of the remaining safety features such as camera-supported adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning and automatic main beam are optional, though. However, because many of these features are pre-installed in the car and effectively need switching on through BMW's connected drive system, even if the first owner chooses not to have them activated, subsequent owners can. Reliability. Given that the firm's not a complete novice to front-wheel drive machinery, if you take the popular Minis into account, it's unlikely that BMW 2 Series Gran Tourer reliability is going to be less than impressive. Even though the three-cylinder engines are relatively new to BMW-badged products, early reports of the motor's robustness are proving positive, while the larger four-cylinder power plants already have a proven track record. Build quality, interior plastics and switchgear are all excellent, so shouldn't cause any ownership headaches either, although inevitably in a family-focused MPV it's likely that kids' hands will tug and pull on components in ways not envisaged. It feels suitably resilient, though.